Imagine you are a tree in an arid garden, tended by someone who only waters you just enough to keep you from withering, but never enough for you to flourish. You try to grow, rooting deeper into the soil to extract every scarce bit of nutrition. Meanwhile, your caretaker is pleased because you're still alive, but only alive, never reaching the fullness of what you could be. Each time you're on the verge of withering from thirst, he gives you a little water, just enough to prevent you from drying up, but never enough for you to truly thrive. And you feel grateful for each precious drop, as if it's salvation from the only master you know. These few drops, insufficient for growth, become precious to you, making you cling to the fragile life he doles out. In a relationship with a narcissist, you find yourself in a similar position. They control you, deprive you of freedom, genuine affection, and true love, only to grant a little kindness, a compliment, or superficial attention, just when you feel you can't take it anymore. That small kindness makes you feel like you've been watered after a long period of deprivation, reviving a faint hope that they might change, that they might become the person you once wished they would be. But this is nothing more than subtle manipulation. They make promises only to retract them later, then grant bits of attention, little by little. You become trapped in an emotional cycle that outsiders can easily see as a snare. You may feel they're being kind to you, but in reality, it's merely a tactic to keep you under their control, so they can continue taking from you without any effort of their own. And now, allow me to warmly welcome new members of this channel. Your presence is a great motivation for us. This is a space dedicated to those who yearn for personal growth through knowledge, sharing, and learning. Every time I share, I also learn from the valuable interactions with you. If this is your first visit, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to become part of our community, so we can explore fascinating topics together. Reflecting back on the first time you met them, did it feel like stepping into a romantic fairy tale with your dream prince or princess? They arrived with perfect charm, sweet words, and gentle gestures that made your heart race. They painted a bright future where the two of you were meant to be together, promising they'd sacrifice anything for you. But that perfect picture was merely a facade, concealing a completely different person. Behind those flattering words and sunny smiles lay a manipulator setting a trap. In reality, this was a love-bombing tactic that narcissists often use. They overwhelm you with attention, affection, and gifts, making you feel enveloped in a downpour of romance and deeply cherished. But this love fades quickly, because their true intent is not to love but to control and manipulate. They lack the capacity for genuine love, as true love requires empathy and sharing qualities they don't possess. They're skilled actors, playing the role of a loving partner to deceive you, making you dependent and compliant with their wishes. Before long, cracks in their flawless exterior start to show. It might be that you inadvertently touch on one of their insecurities or fail to meet their ever-shifting and unreasonable expectations. At that point, the dynamic of the relationship shifts. The person who once seemed to adore you now turns cold, even resentful. They begin to criticize, belittle, and demean you, often fixating on the tiniest details, making you feel like you're never good enough. This plunges you into a state of constant tension, as though walking on eggshells, where at any moment you could become the target of their unpredictable anger or disdain. Ironically, even with such poor treatment, they won't let you leave. When you're on the verge of escaping, they pull you back in with sweet gestures, promises, or sometimes another wave of passionate love, leaving you confused and drawn back. It's at this intersection that many victims of narcissists fall into a psychological trap that feels inescapable. The cycle of love bombing and devaluation, intertwined with fleeting moments of tenderness followed by cold indifference, creates a complex and powerful emotional bond known as trauma bonding. You're mired in feelings of unworthiness, yet wholly dependent on their approval. This dependency is deliberately crafted by the narcissist because it provides them with absolute power and subtle control over you. Narcissists rely on constant affirmation from others. They crave unending admiration and need others to feed their fragile self-image. The paradox here is that you, the person they focus on, are both their primary source of validation and a threat to their distorted ego. They know that if they don't control you, you might be the one to expose and dismantle the perfect image they've carefully crafted in front of everyone. The primary reason narcissists can't let you go is their strong need for contrast to bolster their ego. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality Disorders, narcissists often polarize people into two distinct roles, the good person and the bad person, as a defense mechanism to protect their vulnerable ego. They want to maintain the good role, a position they assign to themselves, while you, from their perspective, are the bad one. This polarization creates an almost absolute dichotomy between the two roles, like light and darkness. It allows them to maintain the illusion of their superiority, an essential psychological need to reinforce a positive self-image that elevates them above others. This is also why narcissists keep others in prolonged relationships despite their hurtful behavior. They need you in their life in the same way Peter Pan needs Captain Hook to feel like the hero. They don't actually need you as an individual, but need your role as the opposing character to feel superior. When you play the bad person, they can easily cast themselves as the good one, the hero of their own story. This aligns with a concept in psychology known as ego maintenance theory, which explains that narcissists cannot see themselves fully without someone else to serve as a backdrop. If you leave the relationship, they will have to face the reality that there's no one left to maintain the hero image they've crafted. This creates a profound fear because psychologically, without comparison, they feel exposed and forced to confront what they've long avoided: inner emptiness and insecurity. However, they hold on to you, not only through the invisible bonds of trauma bonding, but for an even more hidden reason: convenience. Your presence has inadvertently become a perfect piece in the life they painstakingly painted. You provide them with a stable, comfortable, and fulfilling life, not only sustaining the facade of a normal relationship or family, but also contributing to the image of an ideal, enviable life they crave to show the world. In their life's play, you are the perfect supporting actor, elevating them as the main character. The comfort you offer isn't just material, it's also emotional security, a foundation for their fragile ego. You fill the voids in their soul, masking insecurities and deep-seated fears. So your departure shakes their world. They lose not only the glamorous facade they worked so hard to build, but also the emotional stability you bring. They must confront the emptiness, the loss of control, and the insecurity when that perfect image crumbles. The fear of losing face and being exposed to the truth makes them cling to you, like a sinking ship clutching a lifeline in the vast ocean. Another reason narcissists won't let you go is their inability to bear seeing you happy with someone else. They impose a warped double standard. They may feel free to move on, marry, and even have children, but they can't accept you finding new happiness. In their distorted thinking, only they deserve happiness and the ability to control your emotions. When they see you with someone else, they often react fiercely, from sending constant messages to showing up unannounced at your home, or even spreading rumors to sabotage your new relationship. They will do anything to pull you back under their control, ensuring you can't truly move on. This possessiveness makes them view you as property, denying you the right to be happy with anyone else. Their belief that only they are deserving and right creates a toxic cycle of entitlement and control, keeping you trapped regardless of their new life status. Another, deeper reason narcissists can't let go is that they can't stand the idea of you thriving and being happier without them. For them, your success without their presence is a wound to their ego, a reminder that they're no longer the center or the most important person in your life. This doesn't have to come from a new relationship. Simply advancing in your career, becoming more independent, or achieving personal milestones without them is enough to provoke their pain and jealousy. As a result, they'll do whatever they can to hold you back, whether through criticism, belittling your accomplishments, or interfering in your personal and professional life. Their goal is to drag you back into their control, keeping you dependent and stunting your potential. It's a sad but common reality. If they're no longer part of your life, they'll try to break the peace and success you build, just to ensure you don't progress without them. So how can you escape the swamp they've pulled you into? This is what I'll discuss with you in the next section. Make sure to stay tuned so you don't miss any crucial insights into handling those with damaged and twisted egos. Also, share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you think this content might help someone on their healing journey, please share it with friends and family. And if you're not yet part of the community, hit the subscribe button to stay updated and follow along in the second part of this discussion. Indeed, hurting a narcissist is not difficult, but the question is, should you try to retaliate with the same physical or emotional pain they caused you? Though it's possible, I don't recommend it. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to stop acting like them." Narcissists often mask their weakness with arrogance. They fear shame above all else because it can shatter the carefully crafted facade they've built. Divorce, separation, or publicly exposing how they treated you can cause them immense shame, wounding their pride. But the most effective way to make them feel it is by proving that you can live better and achieve more without them. You're happy. Fulfilling life is the strongest confirmation that they were wrong to underestimate you. However, remember that the ultimate goal is not to hurt others, but to free yourself from past pain and move toward a better future. Silence and disappearing from their life, the no-contact strategy can be a powerful psychological blow to the narcissist. Without control over you, unable to observe your life, they fall into a state of confusion and deep insecurity. They'll feel desperate not knowing what you're doing, how you're feeling, or if you're happier and more successful than they are. Even if they've moved on, they may still be haunted by the thought that you've found true happiness, something they may never truly experience. Your silence acts as an invisible wall, cutting them off from your life, while also reflecting back their own helplessness and hidden fears.